There are many reasons for fighting game lovers to celebrate the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. The veterans get to relive our glory days, the new heads can dig into formative moments in our genre history, and these games can find new competitive life now that they'll be easily accessible on modern platforms. Capcom's interpretation of Marvel via fighting games has always been my favorite version of Marvel, and to see their old collaboration revived fills me with nostalgia for old arcade memories and a little hope for a possible future. However, the community's fondness for Marvel vs. Capcom, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in particular, extends far deeper than familiar characters and youthful memories. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the apex of a generation of fighting games that was naively unaware of how far people would go to play them, and did not have time to give a shit. Modern competitive games are typically designed within a set of limitations that is careful to curtail the ability for one player to completely and thoroughly outclass another player. We have comeback mechanics and input buffers and simplified controls, because when people play a game, they often do not want to play one where their opponents are rewarded for working harder for the win than they want to work themselves. Practice harder than me, and you're a tryhard or a sweatlord. Refuse to match my effort, and you're a filthy casual. More than any other fighting game I've ever played, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a sandbox for players to refine and perfect their ability to the point where the game is literally unplayable for the opponent. Endless unreactable mix-ups, impenetrable zoning patterns, unblockables, and infinite combos, and chip damage block strings, it's all here, waiting for you to be the best possible self that you can be in order to do the worst possible things to someone else. It's an airplane that allows players to recline their chair far back enough to slam their headrest into their neighbor's nuts. The only chill found in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is negotiated between the people playing it, and it never lasts long. I do not exaggerate when I say that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is one of the most destructive video games I've ever seen. I have seen people abandon educations, derail careers, destroy friendships, discard relationships, and sacrifice reputations at the altar of Marvel. Marvel 2 is gotcha before gotcha, the gateway drug to gateway drugs, and if it gets its hooks in you, it will show you that you are willing to push yourself harder and further than you ever thought, but only in pursuit of something that will ruin your life. If you're lucky, you walk away with a new appreciation for the banal, you finish your degree with enthusiasm, get a nice stable job in your local city government, and wake up every morning next to someone who never needs to know about your past life. Those who are less lucky have more visible scars. I love fighting games for what they teach us about ourselves and each other, and I love Marvel because it shows us things any other game would gladly hide from you. The world of fighting games without Marvel 2 is cleaner and safer and a little less honest. And I welcome Marvel's return so a new age of heroes can learn that only the devil offers power as deep as your willingness to chase it. And in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the devil himself is just mid-tier at best.